The Wolf Among Us 2 is still coming despite recent rumors. Telltale Games addresses concerns following a Reddit report suggesting possible cancellation of the sequel. Telltale Games has confirmed that development on The Wolf Among Us 2 is still alive, addressing recent speculation about its potential cancellation. On Monday, a whistleblower had claimed on Reddit that the project was at risk of being shelved due to financial difficulties and internal pressure. While the original post has since been deleted, Telltale has now directly responded to the rumors. As a rule, we can't comment on rumors and unsubstantiated Reddit threads. But development on The Wolf Among Us 2 continues, and we're excited to share more about the game with Telltale fans in our community when the time is right, a Telltale representative said in a statement to Eurogamer. In April 2024, Telltale shared new images from the game to reassure fans that production was progressing. We've been quiet because we've been heads down focusing on the promise of The Wolf Among Us 2. While we can't give a big update yet, here's a little something for you, Telltale wrote in a forum post. The screenshots included scenes of the snowy cityscape, protagonist Biggie B. Wolf, and a quiet moment of dialogue between two characters. The Reddit report suggested that Telltale was at a critical point and may have no choice but to shelve it due to financial constraints and a challenging development environment. However, Telltale's response has refuted these claims, assuring that the game remains in production. Despite significant layoffs in September 2023, which affected most of the team working on The Wolf Among Us 2, Telltale reiterated in October that year that the game is still in development. Originally announced in 2017, The Wolf Among Us 2 faced numerous challenges, including a restart in development and multiple delays. The project was revived under new management after Telltale's original closure in 2018. It was confirmed last year that the game had transitioned to Unreal Engine 5. Earlier development challenges, including a restart in 2019, have plagued the project. 2022, the game switched to Unreal Engine 5. Despite these hurdles, Telltale reiterated in the wake of layoffs last year that the game was not in danger of cancellation. Though a release window has not been provided, The Wolf Among Us 2 is planned for release on Xbox Series, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, and PC. So there's just one comment. So let's see. Guitar Warrior 86 goes, honestly, when it was released, it wasn't good to no one. I know it wasn't good. No one I know cared about the game, let alone waiting for the next game. So they can just cancel the game and wouldn't care. However, there were some man-child, though they exist, who is loser thinks the main character is so cool because he is a person. Some brain-dead guys want to be when they are in their 30s because such a guy is cooler for them, for their fate is deal to work in Walmart until they die, and therefore they like the game, and actually because of it, I associate this game as a game for losers. Dude, punctuation, learn it. Personally, for me, first game was generic time waste, a BS targets brain dead teen guys, and that's all about it. Not to mention, the same guys who likes the first game also likes the weird mental guy and True Detective and try to act like him, LMAO. People who live in glass houses should not cast stones. That's the way I look at it. And this guy really has no with that punctuation. He really has no reason to talk about it. With that being said, I did like The Wolf Among Us 2, The Wolf Among Us, the first one, and I have been looking forward to The Wolf Among Us 2 since I first heard about it in 2017. And despite what that guy said in the comments, I don't work at Walmart. Dr. Games 101, what do you have to say?
Well, I mean, especially just last year with the acquisition of what's called Blizzard and acquisition by Microsoft and all, you know, it, this was like a series of layoffs throughout the entire year we recovered. And among that was the creators behind Wolf Among Us too. So we talked about this as far back as early as like 2020, what, 2021 maybe, about the
When
Wolf
the
Among
layoffs
Us.
happened, yeah.
Not then the layoffs and layoffs, just the coverage of Wolf Among Us too, where
Oh,
the
that
plan.
yeah. The coverage was April of this year.
Right, right, and also
But it
too.
feels so much longer ago.
Yeah, because back in 2022, we watched the trailer together, and if I remember correctly, that is all the details. It was totally different. Like anticipation. Like it's like better than Wolf Among Us One because it's the sequel. There was still unnecessary. There was still some uncertainty in the game as well, at the end of the game, depends on how well you um, choose your decisions and all. I chose different decisions than you, of course, by far, Triple J, when you played Wolf Among Us One.
Hmm.
So it's as long as the Telltale or the creators go behind making Wolf Among Us, they'll say it's legit. They're still producing or manufacturing or making. They have to tell the truth at that rate because if you lied about it, then next week or two or even months down the line, it might cancel unexpectedly. So let's hope that their word, the Telltale game word, is legit right now as of to this month. So all the time will tell now after this.
Yeah, I do have to say, I think, like I said, like the article said, in April they did release new images. We did cover the 4 images that the Telltale had released to assure fans that the game was still coming. Um, and honestly, this is the new Telltale. Remember like the Telltale games that did like The Walking Dead, although Skybound Games or Skybound Entertainment helped with the final season of or
Mm-hmm.
Clementine's favorite final season. Um, they that Telltale is no longer around, and then someone somehow got the name or rights to the name and reopened the company and revived the company. And they've been pretty transparent, I would say, because they
Yeah.
said while we don't talk about claims that are unsubstantiated, these claims are false. I mean, so yeah, so I mean, I'm looking forward to the Wolf Among Us 2. I'm glad that it's still going to be available on last gen for PS4 and Xbox One base owners. Um, yeah, and take whatever you need. I mean, they did switch to Unreal Engine 5 in 2022. So, changing the whole game engine, I'm surprised the game they probably had to restart from scratch.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I remember the five started back as far back what 2020 up until
No, it was
August
before
September.
that. It was like 2017. Well, it was
Oh,
announced in 2017 by the old Telltale Games, but then
okay.
Telltale Games shut down in 2018 for like a few months, and then the new Telltale Games came.
Okay.
And one of the and while Telltale said we're really more interested in establishing new IPs, we know fans want The Wolf Among Us too. So we that is one project we are working on. And then the whole thing with COVID, I'm sure didn't help. Um, so so
Yeah,
between
fans
the
want to start.
pandemic, between layoffs, switching to a new engine, it's really amazing that this game is still in development because like any one of those things could have made the game shelved forever.
Or canceled or just basically just been
That's what I
indefinitely.
meant by shelved forever,
Yeah, yeah,
but
right. That too. Again, games like sci-fi, even though it's different companies or different aspects of time, like sci-fi films just pretty much shelved, and uh, the old way of Crash Bandicoot was shelved in a sense. I mean, of course they did Crash Bandicoot 4 and all back. It wasn't called back in time or back at it again, whatever it's called. I heard that game was good still. So it's like I
yeah,
said,
it was
totally
good.
different atmosphere.
Crash Bandicoot 4. Well, I heard. Yeah, all I really heard was that it got low sales. That's why Crash 5 never happened. Um,
Yes.
they were disappointed. The sales. They were disappointed by the sales figures. So, um,
Yeah,
yeah,
only
but
us old school older gamers know about Crash 4, at least with the fact of the sequel and all want to play that game sooner or later. I always
right.
want to play Crash 4, so that's why I mentioned that.
Well, I still have Crash 1 and 2 on my PS3. So,
Okay.
um, I just have to do the memory card thing so I can actually save my game data.